Hello, hello, and welcome back to another energy reading. How are you today? Happy Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or whatever day you're watching this, really. My name is Trisha Schinkel. I am your awakening life coach and healer from myawakeningjourney.com. And we are talking about the energies that are going on right now in the world, in our lives. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I don't know about you, but last week was kind of rough for me. I had a lot of old patterns showing up for me. Things in my life that I thought I've dealt with, and I kind of touched on, but I think I skirted that one, right? There's some lessons that, in my life I noticed that came up last week, particularly, which is a good sign because it's something that I personally haven't dealt with, right? So I know when these things come up, it's the universe's way saying, hey, you want to elevate your life to here, but you're over here and the stuff that you're hanging on to isn't going to allow you to go to where you want to be. So we need to clear it, right? And so the universe brings you situations, opportunities to clear it or to repeat it, right? So I don't know about you guys. Put in the comments. Let me know how your week has been, because I can tell you it's been a little ferocious for me. So that's the thing. I mean, when those situations, like when I'm talking about ferocious, I'm talking about like really energetically charged things in my life, like triggering things, like emotionally charged situations that come up. And when I first used to come into these situations, I used to just crumble and, just basically just cry and not know how to handle it, right? Because it's, as an empath, as a very sensitive empath, sometimes life can be very overwhelming, right? And I think that's, a lot of you in here are a lot of sensitive empaths. And that's why you're drawn to this group, because you can feel energies in ways that may not be very comfortable. So first of all, you have to identify what is yours and what is not, right? So when you have an emotionally triggering event happening in your life, whatever the situation is, if it's a, business, if it's financial, if it's health related, whatever it is, relationships, right? These are all key points in your life that are going to be triggered. Whatever you're working through, it's a good opportunity to kind of step back, zone out, like take a step back, zoom out, and look at the situation from a higher perspective. And the only way you can do that is when you connect with your higher self, and you really, it's hard when you're an emotional empath, but remove emotion from the situation. Completely remove that and see what it actually looks like from the other side. So that takes practice. That takes a lot of, repetitive trying and to get it right. And you eventually will. If you want it bad enough, you will. I can guarantee you that, right? So when I was tapping into the energies of this week coming up, I felt like there's a lot of clearing happening right now, because we are kind of in the middle of solar flare reactions. Solar flares gives us our DNA activations. They activate parts of our energetic body so that we can rise, so that we can do better, can live in a better way, right? And not be held down by all the baggage that we've been carrying around with us. And most of that baggage that you've been carrying around with you isn't even yours, right? So firstly, identify what is yours, what is not, and say, okay. And then you just say, is this true? Do I believe this 100%? If not, then why are you carrying it with you, right? So that's just kind of what I've tapped into. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you've been experiencing this week. I'm just pulling up the comments here. Nothing's coming in yet. Let me know if you guys, oh, hello. Hey, Mary. Okay, good. I have comments. Things are working. They just pop up every once in a while. Amelia says, my week has been exhausting and overwhelming, right? Yeah, because it has been. But you know what? These are the weeks. These are the testing weeks. They test you. And that, sometimes you can get wrapped up in, you know, the test and you lose sight of the lesson that it's trying to show you. And that's why I do these videos weekly, so that you can remember to not get lost in it and just be like, you know what? There's something bigger going on here. That's interesting that I reacted that way. You know, what do I believe about this situation that is true to make me feel that way, right? Because it all comes back to what you're believing, right? Amelia says 100% being tested, but I'm on the winning side. Good, right? And it's not about being on the winning side. It's more or less just being at that. If you are winning, that means that you're learning the lessons, that you're taking in everything that the universe is trying to show you, right? So that's good. That's really good. So I wanted to set an intention because of last week's energies. I was feeling like, you know what, going forward, I want to make a goal to allow whatever needs to be healed, let it heal, right? And coming up April 26th, or April, why did I say April? August 26th, we're doing Healing Week, right? So that is a really good opportunity for you to really clear out all of those patterns, those beliefs, those things that are holding you back, to clear it so that you can move forward and move on in your life and do different things and enjoy life the way you were meant to, right? And the only way that you know that you're on the path of where you're supposed to go is that you're experiencing some kind of excitement, some kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get to that thing, right? This event, or meet this person, or, you know, there's kind of like that anticipation, because that is the easiest way, right? There has been times where I've been feeling like I'm struggling to get through the week, struggling to make sense of what's going on. And then all of a sudden I have this breakthrough and everything just makes sense. Why it's been struggling, why it's been so hard, right? So it's just a matter of, you know, maybe automatic writing to connect with your higher self. So automatic writing is simply just pulling out a journal, just start writing, and then notice as you're writing, just be like, just write your thoughts, whatever's coming to you, right? And then after a little bit, I would do it for probably 15, 20 minutes, right? Just write in your journal, write whatever thoughts are coming to your mind, and then start asking questions. And that's automatic writing. Automatic writing is channeling your higher self, right? So that's a really great way to start doing those exercises, to start training those muscles, those psychic muscles, because everybody here is psychic. I can guarantee you that. You may not be the LeBron James of psychic, you know what I mean? Like, some people are born and bred to be psychic like that, but some of us have to do a little bit of work to clear out all the junk to get to that psychic part of ourselves, right? We've never been taught, first of all, that we were psychic, or that we have these abilities, or that we can channel higher selves, or we can connect to higher selves, or we've never even been taught about our higher self, right? Because that's the society that we've been living in. But the good thing is that that's all changing now. And it's more acceptable to have these kind of groups and more, you know, in these situations where you can connect to your higher self, or you connect to your intuition and get guided from that, instead of thinking, oh, what should I do? What would be acceptable by the people that are around me, right? It's not about what they want. It's about what you need. That's one thing I want to remind you of, right? So I'm going to break into some cards. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of readings today, but I will do 3 readings. So first 3 people to put in the comments that you want to pull a card, let me know. I'm going to do the general reading for the collective right now and get that started. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want to comment, that's something that is done in our Facebook group. So definitely join the Facebook group. It's in the show notes if you want, and you can participate the week after. All right. So I feel that because of a lot of all these old patterns, all these old things showing up, it's a lot of past life stuff that's also playing out here. It's old energies that are playing out, right? So I brought out my past life deck to tap into the energies for the collective right now. The collective meaning the people that are going to be watching these videos in the group, on YouTube, wherever you're watching them. And I'm dropping cards. Okay. Sorry. So I want to tap into some past life stuff and see what is playing out here for us to clear. And then it'll help us give a little bit more direction on what we need to do to clear it, right? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I just need to clarify some of these cards. So the first card that came up for our past life reading was trees. The energy of trees. So trees are very slow growing. They have different lessons than humans, right? But the energy of trees is very grounding. Oh, I want some clarification here as to what the guides are trying to tell us with this here. Trees, what are you saying? Okay. Walking away. Walking away is the clarification for the trees. So the tree energy in past lives, all I can see is when the first thing that comes to me is persecution, which is really crazy, but it's kind of on the lines of what's going on, because when people were hung in trees, right, for being witches, and that's the thing too, is a lot of that old energy is still kind of playing out, because there's some people out there that are like, you know, metaphysics is the devil, right? Spirituality is the devil. So it's basically just walking away from that idealism of the way that it was seen before, because there was a lot of fear put into it by the churches, right? So if we're walking away from that idealism, we're going to need to balance our male and female energies. That's the next card that came up, was male and female, right? That yin yang. It's been a lot of dominance of the male energies, right? And you can definitely see that in the last 100 years even, right? If you go back 100 years from now, it was not very women friendly, right? But I feel like if there's more of that balancing coming in, right? And Amelia says, walking away from things no longer serves me. That no longer serve me. Yeah, absolutely. That just don't work for you anymore, right? It's that old energy that's playing out. And in order to walk away from it, to be done with it, you have to learn the lessons to receive the blessings, is the next card that came out, which is kind of interesting the way the story is playing out right now for these cards. So lessons and blessings. So once you learn the lesson, it's going to be a blessing for you. You're going to receive that breakthrough, is that blessing, right? The breakthrough, that aha moment, that like, oh my God, that makes sense why this is happening, right? So just pay attention to, are you pushing through, or are you slowly, softly going through it, right? Like the energies of male and female, male is very like strong, straight, like very, dominant, right? Female's more nurturing, loving, caring, but we got to have a balance of that within ourselves. That's what it's talking about, right? And that'll allow you to love life. That's the thing. Once you have that balance in your life of male and female energies, the energies that we work from, we operate from, right? And I'm not saying like you are a male or a female. We all hold You know, like I hold a lot of male energy because I'm very dominant and I can take control of things, right? And my ego can get really big. And I know that about myself, right? So these are things that I'm aware of. There's all things that I'm not aware of yet. So that's what I'm still discovering about myself. And that's kind of what we do as human beings. In order to love life, we really have to know the lessons, right? Of the female and male energies. Those are energies. And then stepping into our knighthood. Now, this is the last card that came up. So the knighthood is that part of you that can break through the hardest things, right? You've got your shield, you've got your sword. You're not there to battle, but you're there to serve and protect kind of thing, right? So use that energy. I feel like I'm going to get some clarification on this knighthood. Let's see. I'm going to pull my other deck of cards to get clarification. What do we want to clarify? Okay. So we're going to bring out the card of clarification that came out was for the door of value, right? So opening the door of value. So breaking in. Ooh, breaking through, breakthroughs, right? Yes, Amelia, that's exactly it, is breaking through. We got to get through all the tough stuff so we can get to the stuff that makes us happy, allows us to be happy, and we allow ourselves to be happy, right? So this card, our clarification card. Okay, it says, this card shows a door with gold coins on it, opening to a place that's filled with light and bright potential. Money, coins, and jewels fly out through this open door, revealing the golden city beyond, right? This is all metaphoric. Let's see what it says. All of this points to the potential for exciting new beginnings, for new expansions where work and money are concerned. So perhaps a new opportunity is totally unexpected, something that's going to come up for you that you're like, I did not imagine this coming in a million years, right? Either way, keep your eyes open for new beginnings to appear in your life. Know that you have value and know that you have a lot to bring to the table, right? So remaining conscious and creative and getting ready to step through the door. The hardest thing sometimes is knowing that there is a door to step through, right? And it's like being in a cage with the door open and you living in that cage for your whole entire life. That's kind of what's been going on historically, right? So there's a door that's been open for many, many years. It opened in 2012 when the energies shifted, okay? That, I honestly say 2012 was the end of the barbaric energies. And that's where I feel that we're going is I feel like there is so much rapid change right now that it gets a little overwhelming to deal with, right? But just know that the universe is not going to bring you anything that you are not capable of doing. Bottom line, right? So just know that whatever you're facing in your life right now, it's there because you can handle it. That it's something that you're meant to go through so that you can go onto the other side of that brick wall that you've been hitting this whole entire time, right? Just so you know. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the comments. I'm going to grab a couple of you, and then we're going to go through some readings. Now, keep in mind, too, I'm only going to be doing 3 readings today, and I know there's a lot more people than 3 online right now. So if I'm doing a reading for somebody and you're like, oh my God, that's speaking to me, keep in mind, just because I'm reading for some specific person doesn't mean that this energy isn't for you too, right? You're here because we all share these collective energies, right? So it's gonna help you no matter what, whether I'm reading for you or if I'm reading for somebody else, right? The messages that are coming through are gonna be healing for everybody on this show today. Okay, that is my intention. That is what I'm setting. We're going to find out what comes out. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay, so first one I had was Loretta. And then Amelia. And Heather. All right. And again, if you do want to go farther and deeper into your readings, I do invite you. I do offer one-on-one readings as well. So that's something that you can book. Just get on my calendar. And yeah, we can do, that came up. We can do one-on-one readings, so go get a little bit more clarification on things that you're going through specifically, right? So these are more general readings, what I do online. I don't want to get too deep and too personal with you here, but we can do those things if you book with me. All right, so I'll go ahead and go in. Now, let me know, Loretta, I'm going to pull your cards first. So let me know, is there something specific? Whoops, I'm moving the camera here. Is there something specific that you want to dive into? Or is it just a general reading today? Let me know in the comments. I'm guided to pull out my spirit guide books for you, Loretta. So I would like just a general reading, know what I need to know for this week. Perfect. Okay. We are going to pull out our Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Let's see what we connect with. Whoop. I am messing this all up. Okay. I'm just going to ask for your higher self to step forward, Loretta, and bring forth the messages that you need to hear today. Something that's going to help inspire you to move through the energies of the week coming up, see what we need to feel, heal, and see what's going on. Okay. There. Okay. So for you, Loretta, the first card that came out was be playful. Incorporate play into your life, right? The Sandpiper Spirit, so 51. Let's see what that has to say. Be playful. Okay, so it says the oracle messages is sandpipers are like cute little clowns poking their heads into the sand before darting off into chasing the waves. The appearance of the Sandpiper Spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage in your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with lightness of being. Explore familiar, discover the new in the old. Who knows what treasures await you? It's kind of like, as soon as I started reading this, you know how kids have their toys and they have them in the closet for like months and they haven't played with them, and then all of a sudden you go in the closet and they look in there and they're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Oh, this is so much fun, right? Like that's the kind of energy that I feel for you, Loretta, right now. It's kind of like going into that old closet that you've put away things at, and you're like pulling them out and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. So it's like going into that closet, that spiritual closet of yours, or it doesn't even have to be spiritual, honestly. I just feel like there's something hidden that you haven't seen in a while, and it's going to bring back that playful energy, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting from this one. The next one was take a time out. Brown Bear Spirit, take a time out. So this is number 9. 9 is an interesting number in numerology because 9 is the end, the culmination of things, like everything coming together, right? And it's also about new beginnings because number 9 represents the end of a cycle. So you're kind of coming to an end of a cycle. And this card states, it says, there is time to act and a time to be focused. To focus your attention on being patient and strategizing. So the arrival of the Brown Bear Spirit signals that you are best served by forging hard work towards your goals at this moment instead of taking time out to meditate, or just take a nap so that you can refresh and begin again. So come to know the lay of the land as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in this vast space before you. So it's basically, remember, sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for clearing heads and being strategizing. So how might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? You got to think about that. You got to relax and allow that to come in. You can't force answers to be shown to you. They're only going to be revealed to you in a time when you're not really looking for them. It's like when you lose your keys and you're like, oh, where did I put them? I can't remember, right? You try to trace your steps and you're like, it's not until you give up. You're like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to give up. And you get into that space and you're like, you just kind of move on with your day and you go and get the spare keys and then come back and then your keys were like right there in the spot where you left them, but you couldn't see it because you were so hyper focused on finding them. You know, like it's kind of like that energy. So I feel like clearing your head, stepping away, allowing yourself to recharge is going to be very helpful for you. Allow that playfulness to come into your life. All right. And know that spirit has your back, that the energies, your higher self is always there to facilitate what you need. You just need to kind of take a step back and allow that to come in. So the eagle spirit has your back. That is good to know. So whatever you're doing, you're incorporating that play for this week, right? Take a time out when you need and know that you are fully supported in everything you do. So whatever you choose to do, you're going to have the support of your higher self, of your guides, of your angels. All your team is behind you. So just do it. Don't be afraid. That's the message that I'm getting for you today. Okay. So let's go to the next one for Amelia. So I'm just going to disconnect from Loretta, from your higher self. Thank you so much for your higher self for coming in. And I do want to step back from that now and ask for Amelia's higher self to come in. Loretta says, yes, to be playful, to fall back in love with life, and sleep is lacking, only 4 hours a day. Yeah, that's not enough, right? So you need more. Yeah, take the time, make time, schedule in time. That's for sure. Okay, so Amelia, I'm curious to know, in the place that I'm applying for in Beaujeu, is it right for me? I've started all the physical clearing to make way for new and better things. Yeah. Okay. So you're making a move. You're in this place. What about this place drawing you to it? Like, what was it about this place that drew you in? Start thinking of that. Because if it's like the energy, whatever energy you were in when you made the decision to apply for this new place, is going to be the energy that follows you, right? So if you were doing it from a fearful place, like, oh, I just need to find a place, I need to get, or we're going to find a place and this is going to be good. And you know what I mean? Like, what energy was it that you were applying from? Because you can always shift it at any time, but just be aware of when you make these decisions, like, because we make different decisions when we're in different moods, right? Like if you're in a good mood, then you're going to make different decisions than from being in a fearful state, right? Or if you are angry or resentful, you're like, hating your situation and you're making decisions from that, you're going to be getting results from that, right? So just be aware of the energies that you're in when you're making big decisions, especially a life move. You're moving your physical life, right? So something to be aware of. Okay. Let's see about this place. I'm going to pull out my Divine Energy deck. Bailey. Hi, Bailey. Thanks so much for coming on. Oh, I needed that one myself too, right? Messages are coming in and they're not specific to the people that I'm reading them for. right? Hi, Dawn. Thanks so much for coming on. It's so good to see you. Okay, so Amelia says it's clean and new, and I went to my girlfriend's to check it out, and I felt like it could work. Okay, good, right? So it's kind of like potential. Everything has potential, and that's a good space to make life decisions from, right? Okay. Cards are popping out like crazy right now. Woo! Okay, here we go. We have, the first one was refine your attention. Refine your attention. Where are you placing your focus, right? Are you wasting energy in places? Are you being drained? Or are you building yourself up? Are you, like doing the simple little things like drinking enough water, or taking vitamins and minerals and magnesium and vitamin D and vitamin C and right? Like, are you focusing your attentions in the right places to get you strong enough to make this move? Because moves are physically draining, bottom line, right? And when you're shaking things up and moving your life, you gotta take care of you first, right? So just be aware. It's refining your attention, making sure that you're focusing on the things that are going to get you farther in life than the things that'll hold you back, right? Just pay attention to that. Address your addictions. This could be your addiction to scrolling on social media. This could be, things that you have been drawn to that are not very serving, right? They're not helping you with your growth. They're stunting the growth. Like, pay attention to things in your life. I know that you have addressed addictions physically, but there's other things in your life that, like, when you remove an addiction, sometimes it might show up in a different way in your life, like in your relationships or how you relate to people, or, what you get from situations. So just be aware of what is drawing you in. Okay, and admit your vulnerabilities, because we are all human. You're gonna have times where it's gonna be really hard and it's gonna be trying, and that's okay, because that's telling you, yeah, social media addiction is real, for sure, right? I do it myself, and I sometimes can lose a long time in just scrolling into that place, right? You can go down the rabbit hole of many things. Right? But is it productive or is it not? Bottom line, just be aware of that. And that's what these cards are trying to tell you. So about this new place, about where you're moving, just know that whatever energies that you're in when you're making the decisions is going to help or hinder you. And if you feel it's hindering you, shift it. Be aware enough to shift it. And that's just observing your life as it's unfolding. Does all that make sense? Let me know. All right, because that is something that's definitely going to help with this next phase of your life. Okay, got to focus on the task at hand. Exactly, right? What's going on? And be aware of the distractions, because that's what the addictions are. It's an escape. It's not wanting to have to deal with things, right? So just be aware. Just be aware. Okay, Heather, are you still here? I'm going to ask for Amelia's higher self to step back and disconnect. And Heather, if you're here, let me know what it is that you want to ask your higher self today, what it is that you want to dig more into. Okay, let me see. Heather. What direction should I go? She says, with helping the family so much, will I have the time and the energy to start a new course? Is now the time for this course, and will it turn into a successful business to offer to others? Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to what I told Amelia, really, is when you decided on this course that you're going to share with everyone, what energy state were you in? Were you in a place like, I need to get this out. I need to fill this time. Or it was in a space like, this is like really going to be good for people. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to share this with people. They just need to know this, right? Like, what energy were you in when you decided to make this course, right? That's a lot of orange sacral energy. You got to connect with your sacral. First things first, to be good and healing for people. Okay, good. So when you're in that space of healing and helping, is it coming from a place of, you know, healing yourself? Have you used this course to heal yourself first? Do you know what I mean? Like, or is this something that came from your higher self that you were inspired to do? You know, this is just something just to kind of pay attention to. And really, what are your thoughts about it? Like, when you're launching a course, that's scary stuff, right? I understand that's for other people, and that's amazing, you know. So when you're launching a course, it's a scary thing because you're putting yourself out there, right? Like, and your human brain is gonna tell you things that are gonna wanna, like, this is not gonna work, or people are not gonna like this, right? Like, pay attention to what your human brain is trying to tell you about launching the course as you're doing it. Because those are things that might go blind when you're launching. And you really just kind of have to say thank you, brain, for, of course, reminding me of the fears that I hold. And Heather says, I would take the course to learn how to heal others. Okay. So you're taking a course and then you're going to be releasing a course? I'm not sure what you mean. To how to heal others. So you're sharing a course with others to help heal others, right? Like others helping others, right? You're the one helping the others. Okay, I got it. Sorry. I had to. Not releasing a course. Oh, okay. So is it kind of like Reiki? Is it something you're like an energy modality? I think I just want some clarification on this. Anyway, I'm going to pull the cards as you give the clarification, and let's tap into what you're going to get out of that. Me healing others, not for me offering courses to others. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Some Reiki is involved. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I got confused for a second. Okay. I'm going to go. Let's get healing. I feel like activations are big in this, because especially when you're healing, when you're learning to heal others, there's going to be activating parts in your body that are going to be triggered, and there's going to be emotional charges with them, right? And just even when you're stepping out and being that person that others come to for healing, you really got to channel your past lives. Because if that's something that you've been into here, you've been learning healing modalities in other lifetimes, right? And you can tap into your Akashic records and bring forth, just ask for your Akashic records to bring forth the memories and the lessons that you've learned in those past lifetimes to help now move forward with this healings that you're going to be performing now, right? And that energy can come in like that. It's going to be so quick, and it's going to come in, but you're not going to notice it right away. It's going to slowly grow like a flower, right? When you put a seed in, you got to wait some time for germination. You got to wait for it to sprout, and then it's going to eventually flourish, right? So that's kind of like when you ask for stuff from your Akashic records, there's some times where there's a little bit of a lag because we're in the physical, right? We're physical beings, but we also have that etheric sense. So just ask for your higher self to open the Akashic records of those lifetimes to help move you forward through these healings that you're going to be learning, these modalities, right? I'm going to ask for your higher self to let us know what it is in you that needs to be activated to get the most out of this, right? Okay. The cards that are coming out are really spot on. Okay. So the first thing that came up for you, Heather, was belief. Knowing that what it is that you hold true to your beliefs, whatever's true to you is going to either affect or direct what you're going to get out of this and what you're going to be able to share with the world, right? So the frequency of belief, it supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and strong connection to source, right? So pull in the energies from the past that are going to serve you, not the things that are not going to serve you, right? Just let your higher self know. And then also connect more to your soul for this, right? There's going to be some deep learnings because when you are a healer, you have to go through an initiation to get to that point of healing others, right? You have to go through your own stuff first. And so when you're learning these modalities, if there's Reiki involved or other energies involved in these modalities, it's going to bring up stuff for you. Just know that. Because in order to get where you want to go, you have to clear the junk that's been getting in the way. And the beliefs are a big part of that, right? Is this making sense? Let me know. The next card, ironically, is healing. That's the next card that came out for you. And it says the frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore health and wholeness by consciously using our information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So it's just paying attention to see what's coming into your view, to your energies. What are you feeling? What are you picking up as you're going through this, right? And it's going to be successful as long as you put in 100% of your own authenticity, that you're not trying to, operate for other people, that you're operating from yourself, from your soul, the way you were meant to express yourself, right? I don't think you have a hard time doing that. I don't feel like you do, but there are little things that are going to trip you up. So just be aware of those things and just say, oh, thank you. That's interesting that came up. And you don't even have to do anything about it. It's just being aware of it is half the battle. Because once you're aware of it, you're consciously going to change it. It's just going to be an automatic thing, right? If it's not going to work for you. But just pay attention. And the next card that came out was Merkaba. So your Merkaba is your just your energy vehicle that's carrying you through life, right? Like it's above the aura. It's your Merkaba is that intrinsic vehicle that carries you, your soul, right? So when you're healing, you're pulling in things from your Akash, it's coming into your Merkaba, and it's either you pull it in or not, right? So it says the frequency of your Merkaba supports your ability to use consciousness to traverse into layers of reality and dimensions. So that's what you're doing when you're accessing healings, right? Is you're going into other dimensions, into the higher selves, and you're activating these layers of reality to this simulation, right? So it activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, which is funny because I was talking about that, right? And it's weird that this card came up. It's not weird. It's not a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, right? So it says merging to the totality of all of our experiences into our present will serve the highest purpose. So that's exactly what I said. Basically, bring in all your lifetime's experiences from healing, ask it to come into your now present moment, into this lifetime. So it's going to help you move through it a lot easier, right? And then you're going to have change. That's the last card that came up for you. Change is big. Change is good, right? Because that's the only thing that's constant in life. So the frequency of change, it supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature and reality, both inward and outward, right? So what can we appreciate? The sweetness of release of the old and birth the new, so that we can appreciate it, right? So some things to think about, all right? If that makes sense, I hope that does. And I hope it kind of helps you with what you're doing going forward. That is it for me today. I'm, honestly, I went a little bit over on what I wanted to do, but I really wanted to get these messages out, right? So if I didn't get your reading, you can always book one with me one-on-one. My calendar is in the show notes, so you can always access that. And if you want to go deeper on one of your readings, go ahead and get on that calendar too. Okay. Bailey, can you spell the word so I can write it down? Because the first time of hearing Merkaba. Yeah, Merkaba is something definitely look into. So Merkaba, I know it's kind of spelled backwards here in the video, but Merkabah. Google it. Honestly, Google is my go-to. Yeah, Merkaba. You can learn a whole lot of stuff researching this. I can tell you that. All right. Okay, so that is it for me today. I send you so much love, so much light. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again very, very soon. Much love. Bye-bye.